Hi everybody, good to see you. Welcome, Mark and Rob and Linda. Remember I said I thought I saw you? I've been to NSA too, quite a few times, so I'm not a member, but that's where we've met. Pleasure to be standing here before you today. I decided to do a continuation of the stories that I told last time when I spoke about my experiences in 1991 in eating disorder rehab at a private mental hospital in Emeryville, New York called South Oaks Hospital. It was a 92-acre wooded campus. It was a lovely place. It had all kinds of units, some dealing with addictions and some not. And I was in the eating disorder unit. It was a transformative event for me in my life, perhaps more important than any other, but it didn't fix me. I'm still working on trying to get fixed today, so that gives you an idea. But that was in 1991. In 1999, I finally got to the point where I acknowledged that I needed to go back. The problem was that the kind of treatment that I got in 1991 was no longer available. That hospital was still there, but they had gotten rid of the eating disorders unit because managed care had come in and made it impossible for them to make a profit. So the landscape was very different. So I found I had, during those intervening years when I had done very well but still was having trouble with binging and with weight gain, I was out of control with eating. And I had made connections with a group called Acorn Food Dependency Recovery Services. And they did what I call itinerant rehab. And what I mean by that is they had no home. You know, their home was really the two proprietors' apartment. And they brought, when they wanted to do treatment, they rented a private home. There was no medical component, so it wasn't a hospital, but it had, in many other ways, it was quite familiar. There was the emotive work, and there was the nutritional counseling, and the act of eating together, which was one of the things, obviously, that I needed to change if I'm a food addict, which I am. So instead of driving down to Long Island from my Connecticut home, I found myself in 1999 flying to Louisville, Kentucky. I was supposed to hook up with them immediately and then spend the evening with them, flying in the day before, and then meet them at a common meeting place the next afternoon, and then we were going to take a bus to the private home in southern Indiana. I did not call them that night. I did what any food addict not in recovery would do. I walked across the parking lot from my hotel and went to the chain food restaurant and ate as much as I could. So that's what I did. The next afternoon, I could have hooked up with them earlier. I chose to go to a sports bar and watch at least half of the Patriots game before I had to show up, and ate some more. Not out of control, but not the way I eat today, certainly. So we all got on the bus. There were 14 of us. Contrast to 35 in our unit alone at South Oaks. 14 of us, including the help, the guides, the treatment providers. We went on this bus to southern Indiana. They wanted, I had an undetermined amount of time when I went to South Oaks. Turned out to be 9 weeks. I knew I had 5 days at Acorn. 5 days to get what I came for, which is a phrase I used the last time I spoke. The smart thing to do, the well-adjusted thing to do, would have been to dive right in. And that's exactly what I did not do. I took part in some of the social parts, but I was very recalcitrant. When they suggested I follow their food plan just for the 5 days, which is no big deal, I said no, I would not do that. So when we gathered for the first time in the round, for the first part of emotive treatment, they said, it came to me at some point, and they said, we'd like you to do X, and I don't remember what it was. And I said, no, I won't do it. And they said, well, okay. Then, what we'd like you to do instead is have a tantrum. And I said, no, well, I'm going to demonstrate. I only, in a limited amount of time, I'm going to demonstrate what they expected from me, which I refused to do for most of the time I was there, but I have done a few ever since. No, I don't want to do it! I'm not going to do it! You can't make me! Like that. I refused to do it. I had 5 days, but I was sitting there bottled up. On the third day, after the morning session, or maybe I think it was the afternoon session, I concluded that I could not get the help that I needed, that the community was not supportive, that they had it out for me, can tell you, it was not a mental hospital, but it was kind of like a mental hospital. I mean, in the fact that I was crazy and I was there. And after that session, I got up, I went into my room, I put on my coat, and I walked out. Here I am in the wilds of southern Indiana. I have no idea how I got here. I have no money. I don't know how to get there. I don't have a cell phone. I have no idea what I'm going to do, but I'm going. I'm going to figure out how to get to the airport. I'm going to get back on the plane. I'm going to blow this all up. Now, at South Oaks, the treatment, I think, was $54,000. It's a long story about why I can only say I think, but regardless, it was all paid by insurance. Acorn was $1,500 tuition for the 5 days, plus $350 about for the airfare and the hotel and those 2 restaurants. And I had to pay it all myself. So I'm walking down the street about 3/4 of a mile, and I suddenly, finally realize, I cannot do this, I can't leave. $1,800 out of my pocket the time I got off from work, and I need the help. I'm just going to have to do it again. I'm in trouble. I need the help. So I did go back. I have one little story left to tell, and I really struggled about whether to include it, because, well, you'll know why in just a second. It's about poop. The whole time I was there, I did not go to the bathroom in that one. Could not. It's not like I was thinking about it. I'm not really focused on that. It wasn't until afterwards that I realized that I wasn't doing this. So here I was in this treatment setting, and I was holding on to everything I had. And on the 4th day, when I finally did do some emotive work that really helped me, didn't get to the core issues, but it really helped me, I did go to the bathroom that way. And it struck me how symbolic this was. I was really letting go finally. It wasn't until later that I learned that it takes 3 to 5 days for the cells in the lining of your intestine to turn over. It happens every 3 to 5 days, all the cells. And that there was a physical reason that while I was there, I was eating differently, more cleanly, no more processed food. And there was actually a physical, a biochemical reason that I was holding on, as well as my emotional reasons. The red sign is flashing, so I'll stop there. Thanks very much.